Welcome everybody, Jameson C. Montgomery here with you. It's been some time now. I have been wanting to do some live videos here for quite some time. I spent a little bit of my time last month doing some traveling. So now I'm back and started to get into some other things that I'm working on. And now I finally got time to sit down and talk to you guys all about something very important. Of course, we're here about health and wellness, but lately Eustachian Tube Dysfunction has been really the hot topic. I've been getting a lot of messages from all of you, and they're coming in all the time. So I really wanted to do another check-in video with you all to really address some questions and further emphasize on things that you can do to heal this condition. We all are aware that this thing is so long draining. It takes forever to go away, it seems like. But I promise you it's possible. And I know you're reading that probably in different places, but you know, the thing about it is, regardless of how annoyingly intense it's acting in your life, it is definitely curable, given that that's what you have. And I just wanted to give you guys all a sense of hope, a sense of belief. And so what I want to tell you is that the questions have been coming in. You guys have all been aware of the red light therapy that I've been putting together here. I still do it. I have I bring my device. I have it with me all the time. Well, when I'm at home. But I also do want to emphasize too, as well, is that this isn't the only device that you can purchase. There's handhelds as well. So if you're interested, I can put some links in the description of some handheld red light therapy devices that you can do. I'm also in the process of hopefully designing something that will help specifically with the ear and the inflammation. See, so the thing about it is, let me kind of break down. So some of the questions that I've been getting is jaw and neck pain. This is very crucial to explain this, because this is becoming such a huge epidemic in our life. We spend a lot of our time on this device right here, and we're always doing this. We're constantly doing this, always. And it's like, this is a blessing, but it's also a hindrance to our health too. It's a problem. It's definitely like I said, it's an epidemic, because it's only going to get worse. Or the numbers are showing even more and more now with cases of people having problems with their neck. Younger and younger generations are experiencing this too. This isn't just for elderly people. This is for people 20 30 years old are having problems. They've been texting from 16 years old, probably younger than that, all the way to their 20s, and they 25 26, and they're feeling the effects of the text neck, as you would say. And so when you're experiencing Eustachian tube dysfunction, when you really dig deep into that issue, you really find that there's some correlation there. And I'm going to explain a little bit of how jaw pain and neck pain and ear pain are tied together. So if you put your fingers behind your neck, where there's a little spot where it goes inside, like it kind of indents in, you'll feel right there. And then if you just hold it there and you kind of turn, that pivot action right there, that's the main focal point that we're having. And so what happens is, when you put your hand there and you feel that and you turn, that's the focal point that I want you all to remember. And so I'm going to explain. There's something in the back of your neck here, and it's called your axis. And so when you put your hand there, and let me show you, and I'm texting, you're putting strain in that area there. It's causing a lot of strain in this area right here, just above the neck, and right below the skull line there. And you're doing this all day. Well, as you continuously do this over and over and over and over, see, what I want to remind you all is that you're not developing this in the length of a week or even 3 or 4 days. This has been going on for years. You probably think I'm just exaggerating this whole thing, but this could have happened for years, literally years, and your body's just been holding on, or you've been taking something, maybe a pain medicine, or inflammation, something that's going to tone it down. So then it's just been going on for years. Well, you continuously do that, you start to get into where it's benign to chronic now. And over the years of doing that, now you're starting to feel the symptoms now. Barely after years now, you're finally see, our bodies are stronger than we give them credit for a lot of the times. We start developing problems. We think it happened in the last 2 days or the last 3 days, and it's not really true. You could have been doing the wrong thing for quite some time, unfortunately to say that. So going back to the jaw and neck pain or discomfort. See, when I had this condition, it wasn't pain, it was tension. Now, people are like, what's the difference? Well, tension isn't like that staggering, that pain that you feel when you throw your back out and you feel pain, you can't bend down, you can't twist. Mine was just tense all over, and it's just like almost like my muscles weighed more than they should weigh. Just putting a lot of pressure, tension, all of that in the area of my jaw and neck. Never did I have any intense pain, so that's a blessing. But if you're feeling the tension in your jaw, you're feeling crackling, that's another message that I was getting over the last month or so. Have you had any crackling? Yes, I did, definitely. Every time I would open my jaw, open my mouth up wide, I would feel crackling in both sides. And even sometimes I would yawn and it would be one big crunch. Scary as that sounds, and I'm like, whoa, what was that? I realized it had a lot to do with poor posture, forward head posture, and on top of that, just not taking time to do the maintenance of things for your body, stretching. Like, I know when you Google Eustachian Tube Dysfunction or you Google TMJ, a lot of the things that you hear as you start rolling into like the dental problems, and then it starts saying you need to stretch more. And whenever people are told to stretch more, it's a little insulting to hear that, because you're like, that's the obvious of the obvious. Obviously, I've tried that, but you almost have to do it obsessively. You have to do it all the time, because now you're reversing years, and in your mind you're thinking it's been maybe only 3 to 4 days or a week, but you don't realize that this condition has been going on for years. You just didn't feel the extreme effects until maybe a couple months ago or a few weeks ago. So when you hear someone says you need to stretch more, you literally need to do it like all the time. Like, you need to stretch every day. Best time is to do it when you wake up. And so you want to make sure your body is aligned with your ears aligned with your shoulders. And so it's a mechanical issue, and that's what I dealt with. It was a mechanical issue for me. But when you have Eustachian Tube Dysfunction, you almost think it's something to do with allergies, or you're inhaling nose spray all the time. You're doing the neti pot, you're flushing out your sinuses, you're doing all the things that are, I'm sure they're beneficial to a great extent, but it's not really targeting the area. It's almost like when you have dirty running water in your sink and you just, change the faucet. You're not really, it could be a problem with the source of where the water's coming from. So what I'm telling you is you really need to dig down to where the source lies. Meaning, it most likely, I don't have a percentage for you, but most likely a lot of the problems that you're having with your jaw is mechanical problems, and it's related to poor posture. Your obviously diet is definitely could be, your diet can always be evaluated. People ask me, well, what did you do? Did you detox? I had a message come through, I think last week. Someone asked me, did you detox at all or anything? No detoxing, none of that. Have nothing against detoxing, I just didn't have to do that. It took me about 3.5 years to realize that it was a combination of many things, and that's the problem with this thing. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio. It's not just you do this, it's gonna get rid of it. It's many different subtle things that you have to incorporate into this new lifestyle that you're living to come with the ultimate goal of healing. And that's why red light therapy. I got a little pushback on some people about red light therapy, because a lot of people are trying and it's not working. I also want to let you know you can't put all of the eggs into red light therapy's basket. That you have to do other things. It's important. I never stated that red light therapy alone is going to be what heals you, because your body still needs to be. You still need to work on the mechanics of your body too. You need to stretch, like I said. And it's so important. So basically what I'm saying, if you're experiencing tension in the jawline, TMJ, crackling in the joints, you're experiencing problems with congestion, dizziness, off balance, your equilibrium's off, People don't realize that a lot of your balance problems are targeted from your inner ear. Your inner ear controls a lot of your balance, and if your ear is being disrupted with inflammation because of the mechanical side of it is not taken care of, therefore it's firing off symptoms left and right that is throwing you in many different directions. You don't know whether to go see a neurologist, you don't know if to go see a dentist, you don't know if you should go see an ENT specialist. Some people even have problems with their eyes. I also had problems with my eyes in the sense that they almost felt like they were dry all the time. So I was like, oh, should I go see an otolaryngologist? I mean, there were so many things that I didn't know, or ophthalmologist. There's just so many things that this makes you feel like. So I've been to ear specialists, eye specialists, stated, ophthalmologist, the whole 9 yards. So I want you to know, focus on the mechanical side first if you can, meaning incorporate red light therapy, because that is just a positive addition. It's just going to help move the blood around in your body. It's going to help circulate the blood for you on a mechanical standpoint. So that's why it's so important that you not only stretch, you incorporate red light therapy. People are saying, well, how long do you do it? It's very safe. It's a very safe light. You can do it 2 to 3 times a day. If you don't have time, 1 time will suffice. Like I said, aim it in both ears if you can. I use it maintenance pretty regularly. It's real hot nowadays, so I'm toning down a little bit using it. But if you have the time, go ahead and use it. It's going to help you. I promise you. It's not going to heal everything right away. It's going to help you, and we need to do that. And also, I wanted to bring up. Oh, I didn't bring it. Darn it. Incorporate a good probiotic. I usually have my drink here with me, but I don't have it right now. I really wanted my drink right now. I drink what it's called GT's kombucha. It's a probiotic. It's a fermented tea. And what it does for me is it keeps the healthy gut bacteria in check, because we don't realize, but our gut is our second brain. And so a lot of the times, if you can take care of your gut, you're taking care of both your brain and your gut. You're already on the road to healing. Because what happens is, if you have a terrible gut, it's going to throw a lot of other things out of whack as well. So you need to take care of your gut. You need to feed your stomach the good things that it needs. For me, it's probiotics every other day or so. I can list some good healthy probiotics. It doesn't have to be kombucha. It can be many other things, yogurt. There's different things that I can put in a list for you that have the probiotic effect, and a good prebiotic. And I can put that on the description for you as well. But I don't want to overwhelm you, first of all, with all the things that I'm naming, because the biggest thing is, when you start naming 20 things that people who are suffering, it's overwhelming. It makes people feel like, well, there's all kinds of things I need to do. This is just, I've had it. So if I can narrow it down for you. Now, I listed a lot of things that you can do over time, okay? But if I could really narrow it down for you so you don't feel overwhelmed, the biggest thing I will say is to work on the mechanical side. Work meaning the physical nature of what's going on with you. Focus on the fact that your posture. So I even have to catch myself. And I've trained my body to realize, okay, I need to raise up. So right now I'm raised up. But as you saw, I was leaning forward. This is not helping your ears, believe it or not. So first, posture. That meaning, like I said, incorporate red light, stretching. So if you had to categorize posture, red light therapy with inflammation, and stretching to loosen up some of those muscles, the jaw muscles too. You can do chin tucks, that helps with the jaw. So that's all stretching category. So that's just one thing for now, okay? So don't get overwhelmed with me here. Stretching, red light therapy, and work on your posture. Keep your head up when you're texting. We have eyeballs, folks. I know it's hard. I do it too. Use your eyeballs to look down. Don't do this. Use your eyeballs, okay? I'm not being sarcastic. It's a hard thing to do. And then also, that's just the first bracket, okay? So I don't want to overwhelm you. I'm going to bracket things up right now for you. That's your first bracket. Second bracket is start evaluating your diet. And I'm meaning that for me, I got rid of caffeine. Okay, that's the biggest thing. Caffeine was awful for me. It didn't help me. I brought this up on a few other videos, but caffeine didn't help me because what it was doing, it was making me tense up, and it was making my jaw tense up, and it was making me feel worse than I was already. So caffeine did not help me. A lot of people say green tea and black tea and things like that helps, but I just got rid of all of it. I say coffee specifically because it's the most highly consumed beverage on earth. So coffee, for example, was the problem for me, and I just left green tea and black tea out of it as well. But when you drink a kombucha, if you notice on the label, it does have a little green tea in there, but there's something potent about that tea, green tea bag, and that coffee beans. That stuff is just too strong for me. I leave it alone. So that's important to think of what to take out of your diet if you are dealing with tension in the jaw, crackling. I had to get rid of the coffee. It really helped get rid of that. And then I should probably bring this up in another video, but I will mention it a little bit right now, is that if be sure that you are on top of your dental care. And I don't mean just cleanings. I mean, you be sure that you're checking everything, because guess where that ear is located, and guess where that wisdom tooth, and guess where those molars are located. They're way back here. Sometimes we don't go back there with that brush. So be sure that you don't have any abscess going on in the back here, causing more inflammation, which is also causing you to tense up your jaw. You know, a lot of people grind their teeth, and I used to, when I would focus, I would bite down just to concentrate, you know, and that was making things worse. So I know I talked to you guys to death today, but that was a lot of stuff I wanted to get out for you. I really plan on doing more of these. I left out a few things that I wanted to talk to you about as well. There's just so much to cover. I really would need to sit with you all and identify exactly what's going on with your diet. But overall, like I said, just to recap, that posture is so key. And again, if the posture is not right, the inflammation is just getting worse. Okay, inflammation is the root of all evil. So if you can get rid of inflammation, get yourself on a good anti-inflammatory diet. That can be my next video. I will go over anti-inflammatory diets for you that will help you feel better. I did it, feel great now. Of course, I have my days, but see, gotta be on top of that posture. I have my days, but most of the time I'm feeling pretty good. So, all right. Well, if you guys have any questions or comments or anything you want to leave me, go ahead and throw them in the comments. You can also email me. I've gotten emails from you guys. jaywellness@gmail.com. That's JAYE wellness@gmail.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Sir J Monty. I got a lot of terrific people on there I connect with day to day, so feel free to contact me on there. So if there's anything else, let me know, and I'll be happy to assist you with any other questions. Alright folks, happy healing, take care, I'll see you all soon. And if you're part of the Facebook Eustachian Tube Dysfunction group, I'm also on there as well. Take care everybody, happy healing.